when the growth look good on you, best believe they wanna screw now. I've been trying to climb, devil threw me in the dark. Baby, don't be insecure, you can still go make a mark like blow. Could never let them drain my soul now. Blow. Table turning like doorknobs, wow. Blow. I think I'm about to set sail. I'm a walking, living legend, walking with my chest out. Life keeps dealing me cards, I keep feeling it.
What's going on, people, man? What is going on, man? We are back in the building, guys. As always, smash the like. You know what I'm saying? Smash the like for England. Yeah, I'm trying to say, smash a like for England. Smash a like if you think England are going to win the Euros. In fact, smash a like if you think England won't win the Euros. So either way, smash the like button regardless. Do you get what I'm trying to say, man? Big up to everybody watching this video. It is, of course, the England preview to their quarterfinal fixture against Switzerland. Why do we do this to ourselves, people? Why do we do this to ourselves? Do you get why do we put ourselves through all of this? Just for England, you know? Just for England. We are putting ourselves through this whole entire madness. It's actually crazy. It's actually crazy. But alas, we are here, of course, to talk about England a little bit. There's been a bit of news, and of course, at the time of this video, Friday, so I don't know what's going to happen by tomorrow, you know, or the Saturday when you guys actually watch this video. By the time this video comes out, you know, things may have changed. I haven't got a clue in terms of whether or not Gareth Southgate is going to, you know, potentially switch up the formation. That's been one of the conversations that's been going on, is that, you know, because Mark Gay, of course, he picked up that yellow card in the last game, so he's out for this game, which is so joke because one centre-back is out, he's willing to just switch up the whole tactics, which is, I think, is so mad in my brain when I think about it. I'm like, but is this not the reason why you bring other centre-backs? Like, is that not the reason why? But hey, look, listen, you can't be mad at him because people were talking about, yo, maybe we play with a three at the back, and then, you know, you guys can, of course, hopefully if you make the screen bigger, you can see, like, you got Trent Alexander-Arnold on that side, you got Saka playing left wing back, you know, you got two number 10s in Foden and Bellingham, Kane up top, Rice and Mainu, you know, that seems to be the partnership that everybody wants to see. Konza, left centre back, Kyle Walker, right centre back, and then you got Jon Stones in that typical centre back position. This is kind of the formation that I see quite a lot of people have been putting out prior to the Euros in terms of what they wanted to see. Me personally, I'll be honest, I don't actually care. I don't feel like me giving you, I could give you like my prediction in terms of what I would love to see from England and stuff like that. But I stopped doing it because I was like, you know what? I don't actually care. Like, I don't actually care as to, you know, what England do with their formation, because I don't feel like that's the problem, to be honest with you. You can play 6 at the back. You can play your 3 at the back. You can play your 4 at the back. I don't actually care. It's the way that these guys are playing football for me, which will always be the problem. So even if England play with this 3 at the back, and I find it interesting that and by the way, this is potential. We don't know if he's going to do that. He might just stick with his typical 4-2-3-1, and we're just kind of left with it. But it's interesting, especially because Switzerland played 3-4-2-1. So, you know, and this is their lineup, you know, from their previous game, you know, in the round of 16 against Italy, in which they won 2-0. Absolutely brilliant performance, by the way. If you haven't seen that game, make sure you go and watch it. But they match up like this. So are we looking at this, or is Gareth Southgate looking at this, and is he saying maybe we need to just match them? Maybe like with a team like Switzerland, yeah, listen, look, you can only beat what's in front of you, right? When it comes to England, especially, you can only beat any team. You can only beat what's in front of you. So there's only so much that we can, necessarily say. But when you're talking about England and stuff like that, like, with the performances that they've been putting in throughout this entire tournament, where they have absolutely stunk to high heavens, of course, people are going to talk about it. That's why when the players are coming out and they're trying to bite back, listen, I kind of like it. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, all right, say no more. Do you know what I mean? You know, say it with your chest. Say it with your chest. Do your thing, and then, you know, whatever. But ultimately, you've stunk. Whether you want to believe so is up to you. Don't think because you're seeing the little fans at the stadium and that who've already paid their fees to go to these games, don't think that just because they're the ones, you know, some of them, not even all of them, because these times I'm seeing those same fans dashing, you know, beer, cups and stuff like that at the manager at the end of the game. So that's another lie that I've been told. But ultimately, when we're talking about the fans in the stadium and of course the fans online, I feel like there's actually a general consensus when we talk about England at this current moment in time, in terms of the way that they're playing and stuff like that. And something needs to change within that. I've given up with knowing what can change. I just think this is just England. Like, honestly, this is just England. This is the way that they play. This is the way that they do things. So again, if you want to go play with the three at the back, and I'm not even mad at this three at the back. People are going to be mad because they see Saka left wing back. I know it. The Arsenal fans are already crying, and stuff like that. Oh, but he's a right winger, blah, blah. Hey, listen, needs must with all of these kind of things, man. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I don't care what you're doing on that right wing, because you see you playing that right wing ain't helping nobody. England still stink. Saka right wing still stinks, and not him as a player. He's a fantastic player, but England are still stinky. Even Kane up top, England are still stinky. Like, I actually expected England to go maybe with a 2 up top, but again, guys, let's wait for the team to come out and then let's see how that first of all looks. But obviously, like, big up JJ, because he said this the other day, England just need to go back to what they're actually good at as a nation and have always been good at. You're not good at tiki-taka. You're not good at possession. You're not good at playing genuine European style football. That is not what you're about, and you don't have to be. Go back to your Sunday league, 4-4-2, big man, small man, however you want to see it. Just go back to that, and I think try and make that your bread and butter. If you try and make that your bread and butter, then that is your own identity. That is what you are known for. Even doing this tree at the back and whatever, I'm not saying that England won't go out there and they could potentially win the game. They could potentially be fantastic and, be amazing and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. But ultimately, I just think that in terms of, if you're talking about performances and stuff like that, I just feel England need to go back to that. I agree with Jerry. Like, they really do need to go, back to those kind of things. But when we are looking at, Switzerland, when I looked at Switzerland anyway, there's only really one player that I'm looking at. But there was another player, of course, that I looked at. But of course, the main one being, Granit Xhaka, former Arsenal player, but forget that, Bayern Leverkusen player, won the Bundesliga, won a cup, this season, been excellent this season. I don't know, he's on this Giroud arc right now where, Arsenal, you was okay. Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe that style of football just didn't suit you. I don't know, man. It just, something about being at Arsenal, I didn't see all of this. I only really saw this Xhaka in the last season at Arsenal, where I was like, okay. But for me, I was just like, okay, yeah, say no more. Like, he's leveled up. Some people trying to say, oh, he's always been like this. I don't believe them kind of things there. I don't think you always just been a player like that, and for some reason we're just seeing it now. The only way that ever comes to fruition, I feel, is when that means the rest of the team must be so dead that you just look like that now. Like, you've always been doing this, but because of what you're doing right now looks great in a dead team. And Arsenal weren't dead in that season. Do you get what I'm trying to say? They weren't dead. They finished second in the Premier League, leading the way for God knows how long. So for me, I just think he leveled up. I just think he just, whatever it was, whether it was tactically, whatever, he's just leveled up. And then gone to Bayern Leverkusen. Maybe some people say he's even gone up even further, because in this tournament, he's still playing fantastic. So he's definitely one of the best midfielders on form right now. He's one of the best midfielders, out there, right now. And I think, even seeing him in that Italy game, he was one of the bosses in there, man. I can't even lie. When you're talking about a guy who can control the midfield, when you're talking about a guy who can exert some level of dominance within the midfield, and I'm not talking you need to be Makelele. I don't need or care about any of that kind of stuff. I'm just talking genuinely about a player who exerts. And even if you look at the ground duels, it's not like he had 15 ground duels and he won 15 of them. Bro, man, he had the 2 and only won 1 in terms of ground duels. So clearly it's not about that when you're exerting some level of dominance, within a midfield. And up against Italy's team, who were just a little bit wishy-washy in my personal opinion, he was excellent keeping the ball, and I think it's all about keeping control. I think that's what he does really well. You can see there, 98 passes in the game, got 94 accurate passes and 96%, success rate, 3 key passes in the game. I just felt it was one of those mature, solid performances. And of course, it's not even just him. Excuse me, because they've also got Remy Freuler, the Bologna midfielder. Like, along these two in the midfield, Jeez, hey. What they're doing in the midfield right now, yeah, those two, it's like, I was going to say batty and bench, but I don't want to sound disrespectful by saying it, so to speak. But those two complement each other really, really well. And I think even the way that, Switzerland set up, and this is why I say maybe if England go with this 3-5-2 or whatever, is it because they're trying to match them up? We can see with Xhaka's heat map. You guys can see, of course, on the screen here, in terms of the areas that he likes to occupy, you can see the spaces that he likes to go into. Freuler, he's just on the right-hand side. Again, you can see the spaces that he's trying to operate in and what he's trying to do. And you can see here when, what do you call it? When Switzerland have the ball, how they kind of, with the three at the back there, and you can see the two double pivots in there, Freuler and, Granit Xhaka. You can see the positionings that they're taking up. You can see, I believe that's Xhaka on the that he'll be on the left, so the one, would I say, closest to you guys, next to that kind of triangle thing. You can see there the spaces that he's trying to pick up there. Freuler's obviously coming a bit closer, looking like he might potentially ask for the ball. I'm only going to assume in this move anyway. Again, I didn't see this move specifically, but I can only assume in this kind of move, Xhaka is going to move into the spaces there. And again, I think that's what's really interesting when I watch, when I watch Switzerland play. And it's not even just that. I think it's the way that they build up from the back as well. The one thing I saw when I was doing the research was they like to do a lot of bounce passes. Like they'll bounce the ball into the midfield, but it's almost like they, again, with the two double pivots, they'll use that though. It's like you draw one in so that the other one can come in around and get the space, and I'm going to bounce it into him. But again, those kind of bounce passes, it seems to alleviate, the opposition, because it's almost like you just can't really get there, kind of thing. And of course, you have to then trust the first touches of these guys, and are they then able to then control the game? Clearly, they've been able to show that they can control the game. So for me, that's where I'm looking. That's currently where I'm looking when I'm thinking about, Switzerland. This is their average positioning against Italy. As I said, look, I mean, we've got two at the back there. Granit Xhaka, of course, in the middle there, and next to Freuler. Like, they do overload that. Would I say that'll be their left-hand side. You can see that they overload that side quite a bit. So again, their left-hand side, England's right-hand side, need to just be a little bit careful. And again, if England are going to match up in that way, that's where you just need to just make sure that the players, if we do get the ball, if England do get the ball, if Declan Rice gets the ball, Kobe Mainoo, I feel like you're going to need to be able to take care of it. And that's my only issue when I see lineups like this, is that because of the way that England have been playing in this whole tournament, they're not really taking care of the ball, so to speak. Listen, I don't care about any of that whatless possession that you're doing at the back there, and you're passing between Foden's out here making more passes to bloody Pickford than he is, Harry Kane and stuff like that, even though he's closer to Kane. I don't care about that whatless stuff. It's all about, are you taking care in the right areas? And again, another thing as well, we need to be very careful. And maybe by playing with the two attacking midfielders in Foden and potentially Bellingham, maybe he's looking at it thinking, if Harry Kane does his, I want to play in next to Rice and Mainoo type of role, if he's doing that, then potentially that means that Foden and Bellingham can play in those inside pockets, and then they'll be able to, run onto it. Potentially, again, no idea. I can see the thinking, the method behind the madness in terms of why you wouldn't mind having Saka out there and a Trent out there. I think Trent will be a good player to have, and to be honest, who else can really play there, in that right wing back role? Trent is used to those kind of things. It's almost like a midfield role, if I'm being totally honest with you. It's just about, again, both him and Saka, just be easy. Just be easy. Do you know what I mean? Just calm it down a little piece. Like, don't go too crazy when you're playing in these kind of positions. Don't think that just because you are playing in those kind of areas that you can just bombard forward and not help on the defense, because I feel like Switzerland are a team, in my personal opinion, I feel like they'll just pick you off like there is no tomorrow. So again, England, listen, look, they've tricked me. They've fooled me more than enough times throughout this entire tournament. I don't even know at this point in time as to, what it's looking like when it does come to England, because of the way that they have been playing and stuff like that. So for all I know, it's going to be fantastic for England. Do you get what I mean? It's going to be great, this new formation, if they do play it. But he might just stick with the 4-2-3-1. And I don't know, in terms of the two centre-backs, who he might potentially go with. Maybe a Konza, and think, or maybe Konza's going to play left-back, Kieran Trippier. We don't really know what's going to happen with him. There are a lot of questions for Gareth, man. And from when he doesn't really have a solution for that middle of the park, and he's just kind of, he's now just trying Manu. If Manu plays poorly, is he going to try someone else? You need some level of stability within that. So for me, if I had to do a prediction right now, I would say Switzerland will be the team to go through. They're the ones who look a bit more stronger, in my personal opinion. They look like they have it all together. They look like they understand their roles. They understand each other. You've got Embolo up top. If he does play up top, that could be a problem. Vargas, a very, very good play, likes to play in those kind of inside pockets. He might be a bit of an issue. Ndoye, he's quick. So if Ndoye's down that right-hand side, Saka, maybe that's why he might potentially want to look at matching up Ndoye with Bukayo Saka. And then, of course, you've got a Kanji and Shah at the back with Rodriguez, who I feel has been playing football for like donkey's years. I remember this guy from back in the day. Those three at the back are very, very good players. And then, of course, Jan Sommer in goal, who's a very good goalkeeper. So, yeah, they've got their threats. England have got their threats as well. Let me not act like they don't. England have got their threats. But ultimately, for me, it's like a wait and see, man, honestly, because I don't, at this point, I don't know what England we're going to get. I think let's just wait. When we come back on Sunday with the match reaction and stuff like that, we'll talk about it, in terms of whether England are through or not through and stuff like that. Hopefully they are through. Guys, let's just wait and see. Let me know, of course, what your score prediction is for the game, people, in the chat. Do you think England are going through? If they do, I believe, is it going to be the Netherlands? Is it? Obviously, if the Netherlands win their game against Turkey. I think it is the Netherlands that they could potentially face. So, yeah, let's wait and see. England match preview, done and dusted, people. Make sure you smash that like. Make sure you do share and subscribe to the damn channel. I'm G. We out.